Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. If you are returning, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Jade. It would be great if you could subscribe to our channel and join our YouTube community. This weighted bar workout today is a video from our membership platform. Just to let you know, we would love to have you come and join us on our online membership platform for only £8.99 a month. There's no contract. On that platform, I take 5 live online classes every week and they're all saved, available to do on catch up. I also upload 2 new videos every week, plus every month there's a new plan for you to follow. At the moment, we are doing an ultimate abs program. If you've got any questions about the membership platform, please let me know. And if not, I will put all of the information you need below. Hope you enjoy. For this bar class today, you will require 1 dumbbell. I've got a small dumbbell here. I wouldn't recommend anything over a 3 kilogram because it is single arm work. And I also have a chair as use of a prop. If you don't have a chair available, like a windowsill or just something to delicately lean on is what is going to help you here with this sequencing. So we're going to do a little bit of floor work, standing and seated. Any point you need to modify, any point you need to take a rest, absolutely fine. Just join in as much as you can. Once you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so joining me without any equipment to begin, we're coming to a second stance. So that means our feet are quite wide, toes are turned out, toes and knees are facing on the diagonal and heels are coming in. Start to pull up through the thighs, squeeze the bottom, so we're pressing the hips forwards. Draw up through the pelvic floor and engage the abdominals to protect the back. A nice shoulder roll as we soften the shoulders, stack them over the hips. We're going to plie with a breath. So we inhale as we bend the knees, the arms sweep up. Exhale as we come up to stand. Again, so we inhale as we sink down with the hips and exhale as we pull up through the thighs. Inhale, arms sweep overhead and exhale as we float them down. So starting to move the body and the breath together. Starting to sink into those legs to feel a little bit of heat through the lower body, but also thinking about lengthening through the spine. Crown of the head's pulling all the way up towards the ceiling. Let's do this one more time here. Now staying at the top, inhale, sweep the arms up only, lovely big lift here, side bend as the right arm drops down and we reach the left arm all the way over onto the diagonal. Breathing into the rib cage, sweeping up through center, drop the left arm as we reach the right arm over onto the diagonal. Keep that arm open so that we're pressing the chest forwards. Coming all the way back up to center, grow tall, turning your feet parallel now. And let's exhale, open the arms and dive into a standing forward fold. Hands are coming into the middle of the legs. Try to transfer the weight evenly and shift the weight over into the toes, lengthening through the backs of the thighs. Whilst here, interlacing the hands behind the back, extending the arms as much as possible and trying to fold the chest further in the direction of the legs. Let the head go, feel that space, that stretch across the chest here. Now bend the knees and the elbows slightly as you roll yourself all the way up to standing. Do your best as you peel your way up. Once you get to the top, keep the arms long, toe heel the feet in towards one another. So feet are coming all the way together and then just extend open through the chest as you lift the eye line further. Let's release the arms. We're going to take a lovely, gorgeous circle. Sweep the arms all the way back and round. Now as you bring the arms up, take a rise. Lift both heels, warming up into the ankles. Bring the heels down on the arms. We're going to go up and over with the arms and then do that one more time. Brains on. We sweep back, big circle. Arms come up as we find a rise. Test the balance here. Heels go down as the arms then circle up and over and come forwards. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up to the ceiling. Let's find a Pilates roll down. Exhale, lead with the arms, chin to the chest. Bend the knees as you curve the body over. Allow the body to fold all the way down as far as you feel comfortable. Big stretch through the back chain of the body here. And now soften the knees, keep the chin on the chest and slowly rebuild that posture. Realign the spine, shoulders over hips, head over heart. Now let's begin with our props. I'm going to come to the chair. My right side is next to the chair, and I'm going to take the dumbbell into my left hand. We're finding first position, which means the heels come together. The turnout is from the hips, so squeeze the bottom, toes and knees are going onto the diagonal. Now turn the palm of the left hand to face forwards. We're going to take a plie with a bicep curl and then extend and reset. So we bend and curl, extend and stand. So the legs, you're bending into a plie, finding a diamond shape with the legs. The heels are staying down at the moment. Now with the arm, please keep that left elbow locked in towards the body. You're isolating the movement from the elbow, not swinging from the shoulder here. Think about the length through the spine. Keep those shoulders stacked over the hips the whole time. Now we're going to add on coordination today. We're going to plie. Now I'm going to lift the heels as I rotate the palm of the hand to face forwards and take it into a shoulder press. Now I lower the heels as the elbow comes down, turn the palm of the hand and reset. Here we go. So as we did, lift the heels, rotate and press. Bring the elbow down, rotate lower and stand. So quite a lot going on here. My advice, go slow. Try to take your time so that you get the technique right, rather than going too fast and starting to lose control of the movements. Slow and steady, taking our Pilates into this barre practice as well. So we work a little fusion here between barre and Pilates. Remember with the rise, try not to lift the heels too high. Stay quite low. We don't want to overarch the feet. And we really want to load into those legs. Feel the shoulder blade in the upper back working as well. Make sure there's no pressure. As we press the arm up, we're not bringing the shoulder up to the ear. Come into that pulse, that shoulder press, and hold here with me. We pulse into the legs, just bouncing slowly down, down, down. Make sure the left arm's not going too far overhead. We don't want to arch the back. Can you go deeper into the legs here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, come down as we were. So heels lower, elbow down, and then extend and reset. Curtsy lunge. The right foot steps forwards, left foot steps back. The left heel is lifted, right leg is still in turnout. Rotate the palm of the left hand. It's facing towards you now. Bend into both knees as we draw the elbow up towards the ceiling. An upright row and then extend, reset. Here we go. So I'm going to bend and release. Plie down and stand. So with a plie in a curtsy here, you want to make sure the weight is even between both legs. So try not to put the weight forwards or back. Think about going down in the middle of the legs. Both knees point in the same direction as the toes. With the arm, lead with the elbow. It's the highest point here. Back heel is lifted, and we're still finding that length through the spine. Another little one of those tricky coordinations. Are we ready? We're going to come down. Now as you lift the front heel, rotate, shoulder press. Heel down, rotate, and stand. So it's this shoulder rotation. Don't worry if it's like, this is a little bit too tricky. Do your best. Modify if you need to. So the best thing is to lead with the elbow. So at the moment, when you begin, the elbow is the highest point. So here, elbow high, then drop the elbow before pressing and then lowering down. That front heel is coming off the floor as you rotate. So both heels are in a rise. Can you bend further into that plie? Load into those big muscle groups of the legs here. Shoulders starting to get a little bit heated as well. Come down into that curtsy plie in rise and hold. Pulse into the legs. Down, down. Soft through the elbow, long through the spine. Keep both heels lifted here with me if you can for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and reset as we were. And stand. Beautiful. Well done. Take the feet to second now. So where we were in our warm-up, but I'm still holding the chair with the right hand. Turn the palm of the left now to face forwards. We're going to sweep that arm the long way, all the way up to the top. Keep a softness through the elbow and then come all the way to reset. So drop down into the plie as the arm sweeps up and then press away as we reset. In the plie, remember, drop the hips down. Don't let the bottom stick backwards. Knees are going in the line of the toes. And this left arm working on shoulder stability here. Keep the elbow slightly soft. Maybe doing it without the dumbbell if you need to, and that's absolutely fine, okay? Let's do this once more. And then I'm going to invite you to come all the way up to the top and hold, We're going to lift the left heel only, and pulse. Don't go too high with that left leg. Keep it quite low to the ground. And remember to keep the left elbow soft as we pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the heel down and the arm down, but stay into that plie. Left hand on the inside of the left leg. Now the right hand is coming behind the head, elbow open. We're going to side bend into the left leg here. My left arm's running down the inside and then come back up, stack the shoulders over the hips. Again, so side bend, open up through the right side of the body and then come back to center. Stay into that plie if you can, if the body will allow. Working into the waist here, twice more. Reaching over. Don't let the arm collapse forwards. One more time, big side bends. And come all the way back up to stand. Well done. Turn to face the chair now. Turning to face the chair. We're standing on the right leg, left leg's behind you. Make sure you're quite away from the chair so that we've got space for the chest to come forwards. Now we're turning both hips square to the chair. Soften through the underneath knee, okay? Now we're going to tilt the body forward. So we're trying to get the body parallel to the ground. Think about lengthening the spine. Once we're there, I'd like you to row the left arm up as you lift the left leg and then tap the left leg down as you straighten the arm. Here we go. So I row and lift, tap and lower. Row and lift, tap and lower. So let's talk about this. We're resting the right hand onto the prop. Trying to keep the chest, the hips square to the ground and length through the spine. Soften the underneath leg. When you're lifting the left leg, try not to overarch into the back. And when the left elbow is coming up, try to squeeze that elbow past the rib cage and up towards the ceiling. We've got 3 more here. Scoop and hollow the belly, doing really, really well. On our next one, can we lift and hold the leg there? We're going to kick back the left arm. So you straighten the left arm back and then bend the elbow in. Extend and bend. Try to keep the elbow as is. You're moving from the hinge joint of the elbow, not swinging from the shoulder. For 4, working into that tricep. For 3, doing so good. Feel the underneath leg. For 2, one more time here. For 1, slowly bring yourself up to standing. Place your dumbbell onto the chair if that's safe, or you might like to place it onto the ground. Both hands onto the chair as you walk yourself as far away from the chair as you need to in order to get straight arms and a straight back. Cat and cow here. Inhale, tilt the pelvis as we look forwards. Exhale as we scoop the hips forwards and drop the chin to the chest. Again, inhale, lift the hips. Eye line looks forwards, and exhale as we scoop and round the back. Now walk the feet all the way in towards the chair. Pick up your right leg, figure 4 stretch, right foot on top of the left thigh, and bend into your left leg as you drop the weight into the left heel, using the chair for some support, and try and guide that right knee away from the chair. So the supporting leg, the right leg we were just standing on, needs a little bit of love around that glute before we move on to the other side. One last breath here. Lovely. Let's slowly bring ourselves up and take a moment to just move your chair, your prop, to the other side of the mat. Okay, so when you're ready, we've now got our left hand on the prop, dumbbell in the right hand, heels together for first position, palm of the right hand facing forwards. We're going to plie and bicep curl and then reset. plie and curl and reset. Let's talk about that first position. Heels together, toes turned out. As you go down, make sure you're controlling through the thighs. As you come up, squeeze your bottom cheeks to press the hips forwards. Remember, with the elbow, we keep it locked in. We don't want to swing from the shoulder. We want to isolate this into the bicep, the top of the arm. Maybe the coordination's easier this side, maybe not, but let's have a go. We're going to plie down. As we lift the heels, we rotate the arm, take it into a shoulder press, bring the elbow down, and then stand. So one side, the coordination's always a little bit easier than the other. Do not worry if you have to slow it down. It's better to go slower, to go deeper into the movements than to go too fast and to just use the momentum. Good for our hand and eye coordination, to get our brains working as well, and really to help us sink our brains into our bodies. So we kind of escape the outside world for our time here on the mat, which is quite nice. We're not lifting the heels too high, staying quite low to the ground, working on the rotation through the right arm. And this is great for the bicep, the shoulder, the upper back, as well as obviously the lower body. Okay, so we're going to do our last one now all together. So come down and hold, find that hover with the shoulder press and pulse into the legs. Tiny little pulse here, deeper, deeper. Soften through the shoulders. Stay low with me for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring it down. Well done. Curtsy. Right foot back. Right heel is lifted. Left leg's in turnout. Rotate the right arm. Now we curtsy down as we row and then stand tall. So that we lead with the right elbow. Don't let the right wrist go any higher. Think about the shoulder, the upper back. Trying not to collapse your body forwards either. Keep the chest open. This means we can work on our respiratory system. We can breathe nice and easy. And remember, with a curtsy lunge, weight is evenly distributed between both legs. Try not to go too far forwards or too far back. The coordination, we drop, rotate as we lift the front heel, take that press, and then reset. So I'm going to plie, front heel lifts, hold, front heel drops, and stands. Should feel those legs really starting to feel some heat now. We're using the prop for support, but do try not to collapse into the left side here. As we start to get tired, don't grip onto that chair for dear life. Try and use the core here to help you balance. And this is just guiding us. Last one. Hold here together and pulse down, down into those legs. Start to feel the shake of the legs here. They start to kind of have a mind of their own. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Let's come to second position. Feet wide, toes out. Rotate, left hand faces forwards. We're going to plie down as the arm goes the long way up and then stand tall. So same with the legs. Sink into the legs here and then squeeze the bottom as you stand up. Make sure we're strong through the shoulder, working on stability through the shoulder joint. And we're keeping the shoulders stacked over the hips, head over the heart, making sure we're not compressing or dumping our weight down into our pelvis. Our core, our powerhouse is strong, so that is holding us, helping us stay lifted. Doing really, really well. Let's come down one more time. Then the right heel lifts and we pulse down, down. Sink into those legs. You're nearly there, I promise you. Hold on with me. Here we go. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand up tall. Now bend into the plie. Right arm on the inside of the leg. Left hand behind the head. We side bend up and over. And then come back to center. Stay in your plie. Side bend. Work into the obliques. Into the side body, twice more. Keep the chest facing forwards. Sliding that right arm down the inside one more time. And then come back to center. Well done. Turn to face the chair now. Make sure you've got some space, remember? Extend the right leg back, right arm down, and then tilt the body so the body's coming parallel to the ground. Soften the left knee. Here we go. We row the right elbow as the right leg lifts, and then tap down. So we're going to come up and down, up and down. So lengthening the spine, softening the underneath leg, trying not to twist the hips or the chest as you lift that arm and leg. Think about extending the right foot away from the head. Lovely long limbs here. Beautiful alignment through the spine. Twice more. Then up and hold, remember. We kick back, the right arm straightens, bends, straightens and bends. So try to keep the right elbow as is. Lengthen through the torso for 3. Hold on for 2. And for 1, bring it all the way up. Very well done. Place the dumbbell down, either on the chair if that's suitable or on the ground. Step back so the arms and the spine can lengthen here. Soften into the knees. And we cat and cow. Eye line looks forwards. Exhale, scoop and hollow and round the back. Again, just enjoy mobilizing the spine and releasing any tension through the legs, the lower back. Carefully peel yourself all the way up. Now figure 4 with the left leg stepping over the right. So my left foot goes onto the right thigh, bend into the right knee, and just shift your weight back into the right heel. Should be able to wriggle your toes, your right toes at the front. And we're opening up around the hip space. Again, no tension through the shoulders. You might like to take a soft neck roll whilst you are here. Okay, whenever you're ready, slowly reset. Let's bend our knees one at a time to bring ourselves down onto the ground, and then carefully find your way onto your hands and knees. Have a little fidget through the hips here to make sure your back is feeling comfortable. Now we cat and cow onto the ground space. So we're going to inhale as we look forward, tilt the pelvis. Exhale as we scoop and hollow, and we round the back. So maybe having a little bit more range of movement here to go deeper into your cat and cow. There's no right or wrong, so just enjoy moving the body. We'll carefully then meet in a downward facing dog. So tucking the toes under, lifting the knees and gently pressing the hips up towards the ceiling as we guide the heels down towards the ground and press the chest, lengthen through the arms. Lots of tiny steps. Walk the feet in. Just be careful of the prop in front of you. Pause in a standing forward fold. Feel free to have a little sway here. Add some movements. And then generously bend the knees so you come all the way down onto your bottoms and make your way down onto your backs. I'm going to add a dumbbell into this last ab sequence. If you'd like to join me, that's fine. If you'd rather do it mat-based, that's also absolutely fine. Okay, so from here, we're going to, on our backs, lift our legs into tabletop, so knees over hips, but I'm going to invite you to bring your knees and your feet to touch one another. So knees and feet are touching, but the knees are over the hips and the feet are in line with the knees. Now I'm going to soften into the elbows as I take the dumbbell up towards the ceiling. Please make sure you scoop and hollow your belly here. We're going to slowly take the dumbbell or the hands overhead to tap the floor overhead. And then as you basic crunch, we clam the legs, the knees open, and I reach the dumbbell towards my feet. So knees go together as the head and the hands go down. Exhale, knees open, chin to chest, scoop and hollow the belly. So I'm going to keep this going. I'm clamming into the legs as we carefully bring the head and the hands down. And then we open the legs as we come into that abdominal crunch, reaching the dumbbell through towards the feet. Think about sliding the ribs down towards the hips, scooping and hollowing the belly here, and making sure we're still working into the shoulders and the hips, working on our turnout. But we're also incorporating into the abdominals to build that strong core to help us with our balance. Let's lift and hold. Last one here. Now I'm just going to bring the dumbbell to my chest without dropping. So I'm staying in the ab crunch. Then the legs only go close, open, close, open. So we're just clamming into the legs, open and closing, trying to stay in that abdominal crunch, keeping the shoulder blades off the floor and hovering the dumbbell just over the chest. Let's go here for 5, for 4, 3, 2, last one. Now keep the legs open, gently bring your feet down onto the mat. Please be careful. Soles of the feet together, outside of the edges of the feet are on the ground. Lift a little bit higher into that abdominal crunch if you can. And we're gonna pulse here. So I go up and up. Tiny little pulses with the upper body. I'm just sliding the ribs down towards the hips, keeping the dumbbell hovered off the chest. Last little finisher here, all together. We go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your head down and place the dumbbell to the side, just very carefully. Leave the legs in their diamond shape and sweep the arms overhead. Allow the backs of the hands to rest on the mat. Take a sigh out here. Allow your lower back to soften, to settle, and just take a moment to let the head rest into the ground. You did so well. Really good job. Well done, everybody. Carefully in your own time, the knees are going to come together, arms open out to a T shape, lying twist. Let's carefully drop both legs over to the left. Let the legs fall all the way over to the left, both shoulder blades settling into the mat here, and then turning the head softly to look towards the right. Take a breath into the side of the body, all the way across the shoulder, down the rib and into the hip. And then lead with the right leg, left leg will follow as we drop the legs over to the right, and then softly turn your head towards the left. Again, take a few slow breaths here as we try to open up through the left side of the body. And then in your own time, make your way back through to center. With or without the use of the hands, you can bring yourself all the way up to seated. Come and join me in a cross-legged position first. Just remember which leg you have in front of you, okay? So remember which leg you have in front. Inhale as you reach up towards the ceiling, and exhale, float the hands down to the ground in front of you. See if you can take a breath as you fold, hinge forwards from the hips. Try to just let the body softly come over, maybe bringing the palms of the hands onto the ground, possibly even bringing the forearms onto the ground. Breathing around the hip space, the bottom, across the lower back. Carefully come back up onto the hands. Inhale, reach the arms back up to the ceiling, and then bring the hands down by your sides. Let's switch legs. So bring the other leg in front, the one that maybe feels a little bit more uncoordinated. Inhale as you reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale as we float the hands down in front of us. Take a sigh here as we try to fold forwards from the hips, possibly coming onto the palms of the hands, maybe coming onto the forearms if that's available for you today. No pressure, no judgment if not. Just going wherever you need to go to feel that stretch, that release across the outside of the hips, the glutes. Coming all the way up onto the hands, lifting the chest when you're ready. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up towards the ceiling, and exhale as you bring the arms all the way down. Really hope you enjoyed that bar with the dumbbell today. Please let me know in the members chat area below what you thought, and maybe if you'd like more content similar to this on the membership platform.